Ever feel like you're missing out on like a secret weapon in your web dev setup, that one tool that could just make everything like smoother, faster, just better.
Totally. Having the right tools can almost feel like a cheat code sometimes.
It's true. So today, we're doing a deep dive into those game-changing tools. Everything from coding to design to even like how to work better as a team.
It's amazing how much of a difference the right tools can make. I mean, they can really take your work to the next level.
Right. Like it's straight up leveling up your dev game. And speaking of leveling up, we got to talk about code editors. You're already using one, I'm sure. But are you getting the absolute most out of it?
Yeah, that's such a good question. Any developer listening should be asking themselves that because, like, zooming out for a sec, a good code editor, it isn't just about writing the code. It's about, like, understanding it. Take Visual Studio Code. It's crazy popular.
I've heard good things.
And there's a reason for that. It's got this feature, IntelliSense. And basically, it's like having code suggestions just like magically appear as you're typing. Plus parameter hints, even definitions are right there. It's a huge time saver.
Okay, so that's like next level efficiency. But then there's that moment every developer dreads. You know what I'm talking about? Accidentally saving over hours of work. Ugh, the worst.
The worst.
Thankfully, that's where version control swoops in to save the day.
Yeah.
Specifically Git.
Right. People always describe Git as like track changes for your code.
Which it is.
Yeah. Which is accurate, but maybe not like the most exciting way to put it. It's more like, imagine being able to experiment without that, like fear of breaking everything, You could try new features, play around, and if something goes sideways, you can just rewind back to a previous version.
I love that. No drama, no lost work. It's a beautiful thing.
Right.
And let's not forget about the collaboration aspect. You mentioned teams earlier.
Huge. With Git, you can have multiple developers all working on the same project at the same time. You can see exactly who changed what, merge those changes together.
Yeah.
It's such a lifesaver, especially for bigger projects.
Prevents so many headaches.
Okay.
Switching gears a bit here. Let's talk design. Code makes a website work, but the design.
Ah, yes. Design.
Design is what makes people actually want to use it. It's all about the first impression, the entire experience. So what tools can help us make sure our designs are top-notch?
Yeah, and while we don't have like specific tools in our notes for today's deep dive, there are a few categories that every developer should like have on their radar, like UI design tools.
Right, those are key.
Essential for like actually creating interfaces that are both beautiful and easy to use.
Makes sense.
Figma, Adobe XD, those are a couple of the big ones. You can create pixel-perfect designs, interactive prototypes. It's really incredible.
Prototypes are so important too. You don't want to waste time coding something that just like visually doesn't work for the user.
Exactly. Think of prototypes as like a dress rehearsal, but for your website. And while we're talking design tools, we can't forget about wireframing.
Sure.
Tools like Balsamiq or Mockflow let you plan out the entire layout, the whole structure, before writing a single line of code. That can save you so much time and prevent you from needing to like completely redesign things down the line.
Okay, so it's all about working smarter, not harder. Love that. Which kind of brings us to testing. Now, I'll be honest, testing can sometimes feel like a chore.
Yeah, for sure.
But catching those bugs early, it's essential.
Absolutely.
And then there's that whole other challenge of like actually collaborating effectively as a team. Any tips for tackling those?
For sure. So for testing, definitely check out frameworks like Just and Cypress. They make writing tests surprisingly fun and give you these super detailed reports. It's the best way to find and squash those pesky bugs before they reach your users.
Okay, good to know. And as for collaboration,
I
feel like clear communication is like the number one thing, especially, these days with so many people working remotely.
Oh, 100%. Besides Git, which we already talked about, communication platforms have become essential, like Slack or Discord. Those are lifesavers for keeping everyone on the same page, You avoid those, wait, who's working on what? Moments that we've all been through.
I've been there way too many times. Well, I think this has been a super useful deep dive. We've covered so many tools that can really, truly level up a developer's game.
For sure.
But it's like you said earlier, the real magic happens when you actually start exploring these tools for yourself.
Yeah, totally. So I'm curious if you had to pick one tool from everything we talked about today, just one, to really master, which one do you think would have the biggest impact? That's something worth thinking about.
It is. It's all about finding those tools that really fit into your workflow. And for even more insights and deep dives into all things web dev, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our future episodes.
See you next time.
See ya.